have a guest speaker. Oh, hello, everybody. I think I said hello to everyone individually already, but we have a guest speaker joining you today. So we were trying to make sure she got straight. And Miss Tiffany, thank you for being on the call as well. We are going to go ahead and get started. If you all are ready to live stream, we're going to go ahead and get started. And so, Portia, do you want to get the meeting started? Everyone see the agenda? You're going to
Yes, I can start.
Okay, we're going to be doing roll call vote on approving the excused absences, and we're going to also be doing a roll call vote on approving the minutes. So hopefully everyone is looking at the minutes, or you've already done so. Okay, ready when you are then.
All right, well, I would like to call this meeting to order, and thank you all for joining us today. As Ms. Wanda previously said, we do have a guest speaker today that will be tying into our annual project. And right now, I would like to first, as you look through the agenda today, to approve the excused absences, and as well as look at the minutes. So if you all go to your email, you should see the minutes from the last meeting that Brooke has nicely put together, and we're going to look over that as well as excuse the absences or vote to excuse. And as I've told Ms. Wanda, I'm having Wi-Fi difficulties due to the storm, so I'm sorry you cannot see me, but I'm trying my best to stay in tune with the meeting. So if you all could pull up the minutes, please, and we're going to go over that as well as excusing the absences.
Does anyone need a little more time to review the minutes? If you need a little more time to look them over, just indicate that, please. Raise your hand or something so we'll know.
Yes, please, that as well. And as before, if you all were not in the meeting or if you still have some difficulty understanding this portion of the meeting, we look over the minutes, which is basically just going over what the meeting was about last time, who was absent, who voted on what. And so if there's any misspellings, please let us know. And just another housekeeping thing as well, make sure you're muted unless you're speaking and have your picture on. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that today, but just a part of housekeeping.
Thanks, Portia. Yeah, everyone has their cameras on, it looks like. So all YAC members definitely should. It looks like everybody does, so we're good.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions or suggestions to edit? And you could just let me know by raising a hand or via chat. Okay, do we have a motion on the floor to have an approval of the minutes? Pardon?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a motion on the floor to? Do we have a second on the floor to approve the minutes?
Second.
Thank you. And now we're going to do a roll call vote. So when I call your name and your school, you will say aye or nay. Addison Truzy Reynolds. Aye. Brooke Lackey, Middle College. Cameron Allen, Middle College.
Aye.
Celeste Collado, North Forsyth.
Aye.
Daniel Reyes, Reagan.
Aye.
Jacob Taylor, Early College.
Aye.
James Taylor, Early College.
Aye.
Nazi Bongwin? I'm sorry, I always pronounce your, thank you.
It is
Reagan, hi. Thank you so much. I'm sorry again, you guys are jumping around. Sasha Cigar Atkins.
Hi.
Simran Vangama Atkins.
Hi.
Tamara Smith.
Aye.
It doesn't say your high school next to your name, but I believe you go to Reynolds as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Xander Patton, West Forsyth.
Aye.
All right, it looks like the ayes have it. And our next item would be to have an approval for the absences.
Excuse
Do
me,
I have
Portia,
a motion on the floor? Pardon?
hello, Portia, did you vote?
Oh, I'm sorry. Aye. Thank you. I often forget that.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right, so our next item on the agenda is to approve the absences. Do I have a motion on the floor?
And prior to the motion, Brooke is going to do the roll call so that you know who the excused absence request came from.
Of course, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, time for attendance. Sasha Cigar.
Are here.
Okay. Simran Vadgama.
Here.
Sunita Agarwala is, oh, she's not here. She said she wasn't going to be here.
Yes, so you requested an excused absence. That's correct.
Daniel Cancro. Quentin Daniels. Abril Loaiza. Jacob Taylor.
Present.
James Taylor.
Present.
Jahara. I don't know if she requested an absence.
I don't think so.
Okay. Skylar Peddle.
She has requested excused absence.
Okay. Giselle Hernandez has also requested an excused absence. Cameron Allen.
Here.
Brooke Lackey's here. Jayla Blair. Celeste Collado.
Here.
Nasi Bangwani.
I'm here.
Is that how do you pronounce your last name? I've got your first name down, but how do you pronounce last name?
It's Bongweni.
Bangwani. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel Reyes.
Present.
Tamara Smith.
Here.
Addison Chusey.
Present.
Melody Jackson.
Requested excused absence.
Okay. Obed Salazar. Cadence Brady. Xander Patton.
Present.
Portia Smith.
Present.
And Almarie Williams has also requested an excused absence. We're good to go.
Okay,
You can go ahead, Ms. Wanda.
you got it, Portia. You know what to do next.
Thank you. Now we need a motion on the floor to approve the excused absences. Do I have a motion? A motion, I'm sorry.
Make a motion to excuse absences.
And do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Okay. I'm going to do roll call next. Addison Truesy Reynolds.
Aye.
Brooke Lackey, Middle College.
Hi, but quick question. Who made the motion? I have Addison, she seconded it, but who made it?
James did.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Fonda.
You're welcome.
Cameron Allen, Middle College.
Aye.
Celeste Collado, North Forsyth.
Aye.
Daniel Reyes, Reagan.
Aye.
Jacob Taylor, Early College.
Aye.
James Taylor, Early College.
Aye.
Tasha Cigar, Atkins.
Aye.
Nasi Bangawani, Reagan High.
Bongwini.
I do apologize, my apologies. Simran Vegama, Atkins.
Aye.
Samara Smith Reynolds.
Aye.
Alexander Patton, West Forsyth.
Aye.
All right, it looks like the ayes have it. So now we're gonna go to our next item on the agenda. As previously mentioned, we are here today on a special meeting. We will be talking about the completion of the 2019-2020 annual project first, and then we will go into our guest speaker. And Ms. Wanda, can you speak a little bit about what the completion looks like or some of the things that you want us to meet on today?
Sure. Thank you, Portia. And Yak, once again, thank you for coming together so quickly for this special emergency meeting today. We had an actual phone call from the community who got wind of some of the work being done in the area of addressing hunger amongst the youth community here in Winston-Salem. And so I want to make sure that our special guest is still on the call, because all of a sudden I do not see her name anymore, but I hope she's still on. But anyway, just to give you some background information, a local business owner is interested in partnering with you all on providing some hot meals to some of your peers. Yeah. And so I spoke with her about whether or not she was familiar with it. I knew she probably couldn't have been, because you all had literally just had the meeting like the day before. But I let her know what you were looking at in terms of your annual project and how you all wanted to do something before the calendar year was over and then do something again in the spring. But actually, she said that she had seen a news clip of CAB, the College Advisory Board, your sister board, and how they are working with the city of Winston-Salem and Winston-Salem State on also addressing a hunger issue amongst younger people in the community. And so that's really what prompted her to call, but I wanted to tell her what you all were doing because it was more immediate. So therefore, she is interested in working with not only CAB, but with YAC as well, especially given that your project will be more immediate. And so I see Miss Georgine is back on the call, it looks like. And so I will invite her to talk to you a little bit about what it is that she has in mind, and we can chime in as needed. Miss Georgine, can you hear me?
We can definitely hear you. Unfortunately, I guess you can't see me. I'm still trying to figure this camera situation out.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the Youth Advisory Council, or YAC as we call them, and give them a little bit of background about your restaurant and what it is that you're hoping to do with them?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Georgine Tompkins. I'm here with my husband, Lee Tompkins, and we own the Rhythm Lounge and Grill. We are a group of very, what we do is we feed people in Winston-Salem that enjoy specifically Caribbean food. And what we normally do is every month we feed homeless, about 100 homeless people every single month. And I got together with Miss Wanda because we were interested in trying to partner up with your group or your organization to do our hunger relief project, which is something that we came up with to feed a little bit more than the normal 100 people a month that we usually do. And we wanted to do a little bit more and make it a larger scale project. this time, given everything that's going on in the community and in the world overall. And so specifically, we wanted to be able to touch food folks that are not just homeless, but are also hungry. So we just figured this would be a really good project to team up with your group and do something together before the calendar year is up.
Thank you, Ms. Georgine. And that's it. That's exactly what this is about. And just to give you all a little more context as to how this would fit in your project, we are looking at really targeting some of the e-learning hotspots. You all would know more about that than I would. I didn't even realize there were so many e-learning hotspots around Winston-Salem. But thinking that to get your targeted demographic, which are younger people, hopefully in middle and high school, perhaps we could target those e-learning hotspots to provide the hot meals there. That was the thought. And then you all also had the thought or discussion about preparing some educational statistics to share with the community. The thought was that maybe you all could still do that and have some little like postcard size little informational snippets about Winston-Salem and Forsyth County and disseminate those amongst the volunteers that Ms. Georgine has already assembled, and also at some of those sites, at some of the host sites. Not necessarily saying give the people that we would be feeding that information, but just, you know, for the other people who are working with them so that their awareness is raised. So that would address the educational component of what you all wanted to do. But the thought was, again, to either have people to go to Miss Georgine's restaurant, which is at Marketplace Mall on Peters Creek Parkway.
Yes.
The hot meals, because they would be in black styrofoam plates, you know, covered, or to have someone possibly to take those out to those e-learning sites for the youth to be able to enjoy the food. But Ms. Georgine already has a menu. She's already gotten at least one sponsor to agree to provide beverages to go along with the hot meals. And again, like I said, she's got some volunteers to be able to help out, I guess, to get the plates together and all of that. Mm-hmm. So the whole thing was today for her to have an opportunity to present to you all what her thought is and how she could help you out with your project, at least the first part of it, which is to do before December 31st. So I just wanted to make sure you all posed any questions that you may have. This is a great time to do it. What do you think about this? Because I immediately thought of you all when I talked to her, and I wanted her to really have a good discussion with you today, which is why we had this special emergency meeting. Because if you're going to work with her, we're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling soon, because next month is December. Mm-hmm. So what do you all think? Any questions, thoughts? Let's get going with that.
Yeah, first of all, sorry, I probably cut somebody off.
No, you didn't.
Okay, first of all, that's really impressive that you've gotten everything together so quickly, like the volunteers, your menu, the sponsor, like, go you. So how would we incorporate this into our virtual food drive thing that we were planning on doing?
You want to tell her a little bit about that, Brooke, so that she can have that context too?
Yeah, sure. So last Tuesday we had our like monthly meeting, and we decided to finish off our 2019-2020 annual project from last year. We decided that we were going to do a virtual food drive, where essentially what my understanding of it is we would just have a Zoom meeting where we educate others about like hunger in Winston-Salem, and then there's like a food drive to follow. I'm sorry, I don't have like my notes with me, but I guess that's kind of like what we're thinking for our virtual food drive, right? Okay.
Right. And so there may be a way to tie this in either at the sites, Brooke, like if we do the e-learning sites or whatever, there may be a way to have the drives there. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts about that, but there should be a way to tie that in.
What we could do is have our virtual food drive event, and spread information about this event where you can go pick up hot meals from this restaurant. What is it called? Rhythm Lounge and Grill?
Yes.
That's what it is? Okay, that's cute. I like that. We could like either like tell people that you guys are providing hot meals, or we could do the thing where we distribute them. So either one works, but we can like spread the word at our virtual food drive, and then wherever the meals are distributed, we could have a food drive drop boxes, maybe. I don't know, random suggestion.
What's everybody else think?
I personally love the idea, but I just have two questions. So one, how soon are we talking? Are we talking like month of November or like early December?
Yeah, so we were thinking about December, like right in the middle of December.
Okay, I like that idea.
Yeah.
And also, what is our target group? Are we targeting like students, or are we just targeting anyone who wants to say?
For us, we were targeting anyone who is hungry in Winston. So you can be a child, you can be a senior, you can be a college student, high school student, doesn't matter. For us, we just like to feed hungry people.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for the youth council and their purposes, of course, they're trying to target demographic, which would be students in grades 9 through 12. So that's why, Miss Georgine and I talked about those e-learning sites, because at least we can ensure that your demographic group would be a part of this. So since you all are involved, that's the YAC component to the whole thing, because that's your age group.
I would definitely agree to what Ms. Wanda said, and I just would like to thank you, Ms. Georgine, for your consideration and the time that you have put together. This sounds very established, and so I think that is something that's really going to benefit the impact, and as well as the impact that YAC specifically is trying to make. Just a suggestion as far as like tying everything together. Ms. Wanda, you were speaking about the informationals and everything. I think we can still have like the virtual component to it, as far as like putting out the flyers and ads and everything about this specific event. And I really think we should really put effort into this event. I really like the sounds of it. I like how it's established. I think it's just a great program to be a part of. I don't know if that would just be not doing the virtual food drive, or would we still be doing that? What would that look like, Ms. Wanda, if we commit to this project? I believe it will be a better one, and my suggestion, if we have to choose between the two.
Well, Portia, that's a great question. And, you all voted at the last meeting, and I do believe a part of your vote was for the virtual food drive. So you could either keep that, or you could amend it and just focus on this. You could do a combination. I still think there's a way to do both. But we do have another guest on the call, and I highly value her opinion. We have Miss Tiffany on the call with us from Think Orange. You all remember Miss Tiffany? So Tiffany, I would really like to hear your thoughts on this too, and what recommendations you may have for YAC on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ms. Georgine, thank you so much for the work that you've already done in the community with people experiencing homelessness, but also your desire to grow that work. I think that's very powerful, especially amidst the pandemic. Something in my work that I've noticed is meal services and hot meal opportunities that are available for the community tend to be limited to people under the age of 18. So it's really great that you have a broad population that you're willing to serve. I do think it's a great idea. I myself have a few questions about the implementation of it. Ms. Georgine, is this going to be a one-time event, or is this something that from here on out you're planning to continue doing? And what do you envision YAC's role being in it? The other question I have is related to the e-learning sites. I imagine we're thinking of recreation and parks. And if that's the case, I'm not 100% sure what the participation level, if your target truly is high school age students, how many of them are actually going to the e-learning sites versus younger children who are going to the sites. I can pull that data to see what those numbers are, but just in thinking in terms of who you're trying to target, I'm not sure if there's alignment there or not.
That's a good point, Ms. Tiffany, because I think now, from what I'm hearing from Ms. Georgine, they don't have a targeted age group, right, Ms. Georgine?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. And YAC's vested interest is in their demographic, but YAC, do you all feel strongly about limiting it just to your demographic? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't believe we have to be limited. I'm open.
Okay, thank you, James. What does everybody else think? Xander, Alice, Cameron, all of you, what do you think?
I agree with James.
Yeah, I agree with James. I feel like even though we're the youth city council, we still represent Winston-Salem. So I feel like we should be able to have a wider demographic if needed.
Nasi, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just saying I agree with what James and Addison said.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I agree with James, but like if anything, we can just promote the event more, so like more of our own demographics can go, but like it should be anybody able to go.
We shouldn't stop anybody who is hungry from coming to it. So I say,
correct.
Like, yeah, we should target more our age, but like it shouldn't be limited to only us.
That's great. Then I think you all can do, peer-to-peer sharing of the event. In terms of the event, is there a certain number of meals, Ms. Georgine, that you're thinking about producing for the community? I know typically you said in the past it was 100, but what are you thinking about your capacity for December?
Yeah, so, and we talked about this with Miss Wanda about, the idea. Well, I just want to go back a little bit because I don't want to skip over your original question. You asked about, is this a one-time thing or are we planning on doing this in the future? Well, we've been doing it for a while now. And I think that this specific project is, a one-time thing just for right now. And then maybe, I don't know, it could turn into, something that we partner up with and do on a regular basis, but we're really open to that. This is something that we definitely will continue to do until we, stop working. So it's just something that we'll always do, but we're very open to working with anyone who has the same goal in mind. And as far as the capacity for the space, so our space is a 7,000 square foot space, and we can hold up to 452 people in it. Right now, though, because of what's going on with the whole social distancing and the capacity restrictions that we are under, at this point, we can only do 30% capacity of our space. And so that looks like 135 people at one time. And that includes the people that are in there working as well. So we discussed maybe doing like a row, people coming in, getting food and being rotated out because everything is in single service, covered, one-time use, where so that it's a little safer in the pandemic and everything, and it's covered. So you've got your utensils and everything all wrapped up, and the food is going to definitely be wrapped up. We even talked about possibly giving away care packages at the same time. So it would literally be like a line of folks coming in, choosing the food that they want to eat, putting it together for them, and then individuals coming back out. And I know it was really ambitious, but we at one point talked about targeting 500 people. And realistically, at the end, because we fed more than that at one time, but we also know that we needed funds to make that happen. And those are the funds that we've been trying to raise between August of this year and now. Right now, with the funds that we've raised, we can probably definitely do about 200, and hopefully we can do a little bit more than that by the time December comes, because we'll continue to try to, raise funds, ask for donations, get sponsors, and those things.
Thank you for those answers, Ms. Regine. This reminds me of a couple of things. One is something that I did as Think Orange with Novant Health, the Hispanic League, KNW Cafeteria, and Ezekiel A. Mizan Church to provide meals at COVID testing sites. And we actually contracted with KNW to provide those meals. And it also reminds me of Durham. I know you're not focusing in on just youth, but Durham County Schools did something called Durham Feast, where the school system wasn't necessarily producing those meals, but partnered with restaurants like yours. I don't know if you heard about this, and a variety of other restaurants, so that each week they served a different menu item from a different restaurant, which was really great. People love the food. They love the variety of the food. And so people, it wasn't just we're giving away food to give away food. We're giving away food that's healthy, that's nutritious, that supports local business owners. So it reminds me of that. What I'm wondering, in terms of how much funding you've acquired and realistically thinking about serving 200 people, what I'm wondering is, have you explored for the meals that are provided to youth? If we track that, have you all explored having those meals federally reimbursed through federal nutrition programs, so that way you can up the number of meals that you serve?
Oh, wow. We hadn't even thought of that. And I didn't even know that was possible.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't even know how to go about doing that. So,
well, if we work on this, and even if we don't, I'm happy to work with you on that. We have some partners that I know would be interested in doing this. So I think this is something certainly in the realm of YAC. If YAC is interested, if you want to incorporate the virtual food drive, we can. If not, we can worry about that in the spring. That's up to you all. A virtual food drive is actually pretty easy game. We can do it now or we can do it later. I'll leave that up to you all. But logistically, from my perspective, I think that this is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Tiffany. Yes, indeed. And so, Yak, what's your pleasure? You all want more discussion? Do you want to make a motion, or what? What do you want to do?
I guess it really comes down to, well, actually, wait, can I ask you a question first? If we are going to do it, if we are going to do the meal like distribution at the restaurant, then how are we going to get people there?
Let's talk about that, Brooke, because one thing that I was wondering is, should people all go there and try to get it? Or should, like, if we do this site thing, should the volunteers who are involved in this transport the food maybe from the restaurant to the sites, X number of plates? There's so many different ways I think that could work. The volunteers, I don't know. There are just so many different ways I think that could work.
I think logistically speaking, you're right. It'll be a lot better if we can bring it to a variety of different locations that people have the option to go to, with Rhythm Lounge and Grill being one option, of course. If it ends up working out the way I'm imagining it in my head, our partners tend to have Cambros as well. Ms. Georgina, I don't know how many Cambros you have to keep the meals hot, but the people that I partner with, the organizations that I partnered with in the past have Cambros, so we can distribute it to different sites. Probably what would happen is they would also provide the transportation and the drivers, and they get federally reimbursed for that. So we wouldn't even have to worry about it. Now, that's all assuming that they would agree to do it. So I would have to see that they would actually agree, but I don't see them not.
That would be phenomenal, Miss Tiffany. And we were thinking about doing it, Miss Georgine, we talked about the week before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And also we were doing that too around that time, because typically at City Hall, the Human Relations Department sponsors something called Open House. And that is when our partners and community stakeholders can come in to City Hall and have a nice hot meal. And for the past several years, Miss Georgine's restaurant has been the caterer for that. And so this is a great way to just kind of spin off of what we normally do anyway. And so, yeah, I think that sounds good. I think that would be an awesome thing to be able to incorporate the virtual aspect. And also if the volunteers, if, you know, assuming Miss Tiffany and her awesome people skills and charms can get these folks on board, if they could get federal reimbursement, that would solve a lot of logistical issues. So I think it sounds good. I like that. What do you think, Miss Georgine? Do you like that?
Yeah, the only thing that I'm just a little nervous about is just the handling of, and just because I'm, you know, the food is my number one,
Right.
you know, the food safety. I just want to make sure everyone's safe, and, you know, and just the handling of it and not knowing how it's being handled once it leaves, that kind of worries me just a little, and if I'm being honest.
Okay.
I think, Ms. Georgine, that's a valid concern. What I think, if should YAC vote on this, an appropriate next step might be for Ms. Wanda, Ms. Georgine, myself, after I've spoken with the organization that I'm thinking of, to meet together, because they have handled the food in the past and they've done this for many, many years. And that way, Ms. Georgine, you might have the opportunity to talk with them about what is comfortable and right for your organization, and also the experience they have to come up with a good food safety plan for this implementation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that would make you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
If we could talk about a food safety plan, should they agree.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that would definitely make me feel much more comfortable. And then too, I just want to make sure that, you know, just everything, like I said, it's really a safety issue. And that's huge for me. So we want everyone to be fed, but, you know, in the right way. And we don't want anyone to get sick or anything like that. So
No, I totally agree with you on that. And Miss Georgine, do you mind giving an idea of what the menu would consist of?
Yeah. So, you know, we normally do things like at our restaurant, jerk chicken. So we're going to have that as an option, but also because everyone doesn't eat spicy food, we're also going to have baked chicken as well, as a choice. We're going to do the rice and beans, mixed vegetables, macaroni and cheese, fresh collard greens, that's right, cabbage, the sauteed cabbage, and we've got Pepsi products that are going to be donated by Pepsi, and we're working on getting some healthier beverages as well, in addition to the sodas. But everything that I just named, everything is made 100% from scratch using all fresh products, fresh vegetables. Everything's hand cut, and nothing is, you know, frozen or canned or processed or anything like that.
If I may add quickly, this is all amazing. I'm seeing really great feedback in the chat. I'm also impressed because that was one of our concerns about having frozen and canned meals. We wanted it to be hot. We wanted it to be around the holiday season. And so I'm very impressed. I just want to hear a little bit more conversation before we vote on it. But of course, that ties back into the safety aspect because it is COVID and the handling of the food. So it will not need to be, in my opinion, just like in one place. It will need to be multiple sites for the impact that we're looking for.
Right.
So my last question before trying to make a motion is do you have any ways that YAC can be incorporated as volunteers? Because I already heard that you have volunteers at the sites. So is there any way that we can help you?
I have the same question.
Yeah, so we would love to still be able to do our bags, our little gift bags or giveaways at the same time. So we would definitely need help there with packing bags and doing care packages and that kind of thing. And if your organization would like to do, add to those bags with any kind of encouraging notes or things that you guys may have or come up with, different ideas to kind of pack those care packages with, that would be awesome. But I was, I'm thinking and I'm hoping that that's one way that you'd be able to get involved directly and very personally, and that would mean a whole lot.
If I can quickly add as well, you may go ahead, Ms. Wanda.
I was going to say, don't forget that you're going to be doing the statistics as well. You all wanted to disseminate educational information on little handbills or postcards or whatever. So you're going to be doing that, and that's going to be going out to any other volunteers outside of YAC, as well as the host sites and places like that. We'll be doing that too.
Of course, and I was going to ask, do you all have a social media page or some type of website? If we can make informational for awesome, can we possibly send you over informationals and stuff that we can post on there as well? If you do have a high audience on that, I think that would be another way that we can participate and share that educational statistics and everything through that way as well.
And we do.
If you're interested.
Awesome. Most definitely interested. Our website is therhythmgrill.com. And we also have a Facebook page. We had 20,000 visitors to our website last month alone. So wow. Yeah, most definitely. We would definitely love to share it on our website. But of course, we just want to make it official first before we
oh, yeah.
Share anything.
Absolutely. And Georgine, you couldn't see this, but you should have seen the chat. And many YAC members were like, oh my gosh, this is making me hungry when they heard your menu. Don't even know how right they are. There's a reason why we've had you for the past, I don't know how many years to cater. So you guys are absolutely on point. I mean, food is absolutely delicious. And yes, it's always fresh. I can tell you that personally. Jamie can tell you that, as well as Iris. And I think Miss Tiffany may have had it too. So they can all tell you.
Well, we appreciate it.
You're more.
And that's also awesome. That's also awesome that you have a different variety of choices. Our past projects, we were concerned about choices. And that's something that I want our community to have, is enough choices and a variety of things that will be able to be tasteful and then also fun and educational. So I really appreciate you.
No problem at all. And I neglected to share my husband's, like, because he's in charge of the website and the Facebook page. He said the Facebook page is the Rhythm Lounge and Grill on Facebook. If you guys want to take a look at that as well.
And one last thing, Miss Georgine, can you give me an idea very briefly about what is in the care packages that you mentioned?
Yeah, so a little bit of everything, anything that would be helpful to our community. We've had some folks to already start bringing in some things. We've had items such as little napkins, toothbrush, hand sanitizers, things you can get at the Dollar Tree, wipes. What else are some of the things? Even sanitary napkins, like anything that will be helpful to the community right now at this time. Right. Little, whatever pieces of information that you want the community to know about. Little pieces of candy, because that's always like a little nice sweet pick me up. You just anything that will be helpful, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No
okay, Yak, what's your pleasure?
I mean, with that being said, if Yak is cool with it, I'll make a motion to work with the Rhythm Lounge and Grill. for this project.
Thank you, James.
Before we make a motion, I'm sorry, I'm like, wait, stop. Are we gonna do the virtual food drive or are we just cutting that out? Are we amending that? What does everybody else think?
So whoever makes the motion, you need to be very specific with it and state exactly what it is that you're proposing. Thank you, Brooke. You would need to mention the virtual food drive that Ms. Tiffany mentioned would be relatively easy to do in conjunction with working with Ms. Georgine. And if you want to do both, you need to state that, but you don't need to just say, I make a motion, we do both. You need to say and state what both means. You have to define that, okay?
With the virtual food drive, would we be making a Zoom or be making a link to a video?
The virtual food drive, there's already like a platform set up. We would just have to register YAC as the host organization, and it would be a link that you can drive people to make donations online. I wish I could show you pictures of it, but I don't have it right now. But it's super accessible. A lot of organizations have switched to that just because traditional food drives have been difficult to manage during the pandemic. But it's just a matter of setting up the platform, writing information on the platform about why YAC is doing this, adding some pictures to make it, appealing, and then send it, creating some of those social media graphics and things, and then sharing that out to people that you know and posting on your respective social media pages, posting on the city Facebook page, things like that.
Okay, so it's not going to be like, okay, I had something totally different in mind. I don't know what everybody else was thinking. So it's not going to be like a single event where we're like, hey, at 6 o'clock, we're going to have our virtual food drive. So it's going to be like just a website and people can donate $5 if they want to.
Yeah, but you all would want to identify when you launch it and then when the end date is. And also we would want to identify a goal to get there, like what your goal would be. So it is time constrained, but it's not going to be on one day everyone will get on and everyone will donate. You will have a lot more success spreading it out rather than doing it at once.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. We could totally do that. It's just like, should we donate the funds to this event to donate more to give more meals, or what should we do?
If we did that, we would have to build our own website, which would be a lot more challenging to do in the time frame. Otherwise, we can partner with, for example, Second Harvest Food Bank that already has the website built out, and it's a matter of setting up a page. That is much easier to do. If you wanted to build your own website, we'd probably have to wait till the spring, and I do not recommend.
Can I just share really quickly? I just pulled up the Second Harvest where you sign up to do a virtual, and it does have it literally all set up for you. You just start putting everything in. So they have it where you can have, it looks like teams, like to see which team would donate the most, or you can do it without teams. And then
we actually did this, Jamie, as a part of service excellence for the city last year when we were collecting the physical food items, but we also had a virtual option. So it's super accessible. We as a city have already done it. So, I've already gone through it once. And so would be happy to coach you all to create your page. It's very easy. Thanks for pulling that up. I thought it would be a lot harder to show.
I just thought I would look it up real quick. So Lisa,
yeah, thank you. We're trying to go ahead and move on because marketing is hosting us and they have city council to do tonight. And I told them we'd try to wrap this up in an hour or so. So everybody, what do you think? What do you want to do?
The food drive.
Somebody needs to make that motion. Say that again, Celeste.
I was just gonna add like a comment, just like, so if we do the food drive, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna do, we can do the end date for the food drive the same day of the event that the food is happening, just to like make it organized.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
So they would be kind of unrelated, but they would still go towards the hunger thing. So it just depends on if we want to do two separate things. Like we have this bigger thing that we're figuring out, and then we have this virtual food drive. So it's like, should we go ahead and do the easy thing just to like get the ball rolling, and then like we're gonna start this event? Or do you guys just want to not worry about the food drive and just focus all of our energy on the event?
Well, Brooke, remember, Miss Tiffany said this would be relatively easy to do. And you could, as Celeste suggested, you could have the end date be on the same day as the partnership with Miss Georgine. So really you'd be working on both at the same time, but you wouldn't be doing it all alone, you know, because hopefully the community would be contributing.
I think as long as we specify that we're very specific about the fact that it's two separate things, like we're doing both and they're both important to do, but it's two separate things. And I think the only way that we can do that is the fact that the food drive is an easy thing to set up. So I just think when we make a motion, we need to make sure that we specify it's two completely separate things, just under the same umbrella.
Good point, Xander. You were exactly in my head. That's what I was trying to articulate, but you said it much better, so thank you.
So if we're ready, I would like to make a motion to continue with the virtual food drive and also work with the Rhythm Lounge and Grill for our 2019-2020 Hunger Project.
Good job, James. Tamara, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. So now you need a roll call vote. Miss Brooke or either Miss Portia, one of y'all have the roll call vote you can do real quick?
I can do it.
Okay, thanks, Brooke.
Yeah. All right. So Xander Patton of West Forsyth.
Aye.
Celeste Collado of North Forsyth. Aye. Was that aye? Okay. Addison Truzzi of Reynolds.
Aye.
Cameron Allen of Middle College.
Aye.
Simran Vodgama of Atkins.
Aye.
Nasi Bomweni from Reagan.
Aye.
Okay. Sasha Cigar from Atkins.
Aye.
Daniel Reyes from Reagan.
Aye.
Tamara Smith from Reynolds.
Aye.
James Taylor of Early College.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I'm going over. Jacob Taylor of Early College.
Aye.
And I think that's everybody. Ignore the dog. Did I miss anybody?
Yourself.
I also vote aye. So the ayes have it and the motion passes.
Awesome. Awesome. So Miss Georgine, it's a done deal. Yak is
Awesome.
wanting to work with you on this, so we will definitely be working very closely with you and Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany is our in-house City Hall expert on all things hunger related. So we're happy to have her as a part of this team. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for contacting us. Thank you for reaching out.
No problem. And we'd like to reach out even further. You guys are more than welcome to visit us anytime. Mondays are our only days that we're closed. And come down and just even if you don't come and eat, just see the facility and see what it is that we do. We really focus on also providing a nice, safe space for local artists to come and perform every single weekend down at the Rhythm Lounge and Grill, hence the rhythm portion. And so we have a lot of really cool music every weekend, including on Sunday for our Sunday jazz brunch. And then that's totally free with your meal. You just get to enjoy, and we're still social distancing, and we've got a lot of safety protocols in place while you enjoy some really good food and listen to live music. So
thank you. And Miss Georgine, you couldn't see in chat also, they had already said they couldn't wait to go visit and to try your food. So they said that like 30 minutes ago. You just didn't.
Oh, thank you guys. And we're super excited. Thank you so much.
We're excited as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Portia's still on the call. Yeah, I see heads shaking no. This last little bit, James, is there a remaining item on the agenda, I think?
Yeah, the last item is the 2020-2021 state mini grant application.
Okay, Jamie, did you have something you wanted to say, Miss Jamie?
I just wanted to remind everybody that that is due Monday. So I hope that the group that talked last week is starting to work on that.
Whoa. Wow.
That may be something that you want to work, this is for the 1920 grant, but now you're applying for the 2021 grant. So
do you want me to reiterate who said they would be interested? Okay, it's on the minutes. 1 second. Sorry, my face is probably really white. So I agreed to work on it. Addison, Cameron, Simran, Sunita, and Sasha, we all agreed to work on it. And Portia said she was going to send out an email really soon so that we can all collaboratively work on the document. And if we want to, we can even set up a day just to have a call and all talk about what we want on the application. But we'd have to do it pretty quickly because it is due Monday.
That's right. So Brooke, if you don't mind, can you go ahead and make sure you reach out to Portia to get that ball rolling? Yeah, because time is ticking. You have a week, not even a week now. Was that it, James? Because you're running the meeting now.
Yes, ma'am. That's it. Other than the staff reminders. So the mini grant conference registration is due November 4th. The mini grant application is due November 9th, 2020. And the mini grant conference is November 21st, 2020. And other than that, that's it. If there's any more thoughts?
Wanda, I did have a question about what the mini grant conference is about. So the mini grant conference, you all decide who gets those grants. So you all are going to apply for the grant, and then the conference on the 21st will decide who gets what. So if you apply for 500, you might only get 200, or you might get all of the 500, but that's the group that decides that.
So you're basically reviewing all of the grant applications from across the state, and you're deciding which YACs are funded and which ones are not. So Jamie, what do they need to do if they're interested?
They just need to register by the 4th.
Okay.
And that is, I think it's a 9 a.m., the 21st, 9 a.m. to noon or something. So it's just a morning conference on that Saturday.
Thank you, Miss Jamie. Appreciate that. Okay, Mr. Vice Chair, do you want to ask for a motion to adjourn and do roll call vote?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to make a motion to adjourn, and now we need a roll call vote. So,
I need a second.
Oh.
I second that motion to adjourn.
Okay. Xander Patton from West Forsyth.
Aye.
Addison Truzy from Reynolds.
Aye.
Cameron Allen from Middle College.
Aye.
Simmer Vagama from Atkins.
Aye.
Nasi Bangwani from Reagan.
Aye.
Sasha Sagar from Atkins.
Aye.
Daniel Reyes from Reagan.
Aye.
Brooke Lackey from Middle College.
Aye.
Celeste Collado from North Forsyth.
Aye.
Tamara Smith from Reynolds.
Aye.
And Jacob Taylor from Middle College.
Aye.
I mean, from Early College.
Aye.
And I also vote aye too. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the special meeting, and this meeting is officially adjourned.
Good job, everybody.